The inserted and deleted tables are a really neat functionality of triggers in SQL Server, and to really understand the power of triggers in SQL Server, you need to understand what the inserted and deleted tables are all about. Now, any DML, that's a data modification language query based trigger statement, uses two special tables, the deleted table and the inserted table. Now, SQL Server automatically creates and manages these two tables. They are temporary memory resident tables, meaning they're written up into RAM. They stay there, and you can use them to manage the data modifications that are being performed on the table when your trigger gets fired. Now, the tables are available to the trigger's code until the trigger completes. Once the trigger completes, the inserted and deleted tables go away. Now, this probably still isn't making a whole lot of sense, so let's look at it visually, and I think you'll get it. Notice that when an insert is done to a table that has an insert trigger on it, the inserted data is not only written to the table, but it's also written into a table in memory called inserted, because when our trigger fires, we know that an insert happened, but how do we know exactly what the insert was? So SQL Server helps us out here. It copies the data that was inserted into the table into the inserted table in memory, and we can query that table, just like a table variable type situation. We can query inserted to see what was added to the table. So if we want to run any kind of checks or anything to it, then we can do that, and then we might want to go back and make a change in the actual data that was inserted. But the best way to understand it is when we have a update trigger on a table and there is a modification made. So someone runs an update statement and they're going to modify some data. So John Jones with the age 37 is being updated. And so SQL creates an inserted table out there in memory. That's the data that's going in. Notice the age column is changing, but updates or modifications are treated as a delete on the old row and an insert on the new one. So what's being inserted is John Jones 43. What's being deleted is John Jones 37. So in the body of our trigger, we can reference the deleted table to see what was there. We can reference the inserted table to see what's going in. Then we can write code to do whatever we want to manage this data update. So that really is all insert and deleted tables are about. Just understand you will normally see them written as lowercase, inserted and deleted. These are temporary memory resident tables that are created by the functionality of the trigger in SQL Server, but it's all automatic. You don't have to do anything. Those tables are just there. And when we build a trigger example a little bit later on in a separate video, just look for trigger examples. I'll show you, and we'll actually query from that inserted and deleted tables in our example. So that's it for inserted and deleted tables when you're working with a query.